Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ang pangalan po Lira Simon Kabatbat of Douglas Simon Solicitors. Welcome to LIRA in Law. Now, unang-una, apologies if I look like a sweaty mess. Today, in the UK, it seems to be the hottest day of, it could even be record-breaking. I think sabi nila, it's yesterday and today, I think, supposed to be the hottest day in June, I think, ever recorded. And it really is hot. Oh, so today, I actually have a prop. I don't normally have a prop, but tingnan nyo. Meron pa may pan. You don't usually need it here, no? And actually, this is from the Philippines, so I'm quite proud of it. No, para meron akong pamaypay. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me on this very hot summer evening in June. And as usual, we are broadcasting live from London, England. Thank you very much again for joining me. Ang pangalan ko po, as I say, is Lira Simon Kapatbat of Douglas Simon Solicitors. Abogado po ako of over 30 years, I think 34 years now, 34 years. It's so long. I even forget now, about 34 years post-qualification experience. So I've been doing this a long time. Now, as usual, we have a jam-packed evening of very, very interesting questions. It's great that we're talking about spouse applications, children applications, absences from the United Kingdom, and anything else that you care to throw at me tonight. No, and of course, kung gusto niyo akong batiin, you should do that. No, I hope so. Anyway, may batian section tayo. I hope you're not so hot that you can't. You're too hot to even put in a question. I hope that you will certainly, put in your questions. Happy, of course, to deal with it. But I mean, I would say again, I always say this during broadcast: nothing beats one-to-one independent legal advice. So kung meron kayong mga questions, nalilito nga kayo, even if you say, oh, simple nga lang, you should not rely on even this. No, I mean, of course, I would try my best not to point you in the right direction, but facts differ. All facts differ. So it's important na you get as best legal advice as you possibly can. And a lot of solicitors would do advice on fixed fee interview, so that at least alam nyo, maybe they answer your question from just that interview, or at least maybe then you can consider what else you need to do. So yun, importante po yun. Now, I was just going to say, look, without further ado, I suppose we could just take, we won't take a break na nga ngayon, because it could be, let me save the break. The reason for that is because it's so hot. It is astonishingly hot. It's been over 30 for from like 10 o'clock in the morning, actually probably earlier than that, and it's not cooling down. So anyway, the reason why, let's save the break for later, because it could be that I need to have a break, quickly splash my face with water. No, napakainit. It's incredibly hot. Not that I should not complain, because it's nice when the weather is good, but it truly is hot. I think UK probably at the moment rivals the Philippines. And for those of you who are watching me from the Philippines, say hello, okay? Now, so ang question po natin, let me just have a look. Ito, ang topic po natin, can a child dependent over 18 apply for ILR? ILR, of course, stands for indefinite leave to remain. And that definitely is from one of our viewers, yung mga question nga niya nito. So, it's actually, oddly, it's not a question I'm asked often enough by comparison to others, no? But so I would actually expect that it's a question that I should be asked more often. Dahil maraming mga taong pumasok nga sila dito, yung anak nga nila under 18 at the time nung nagpasok sila ng application. And in the meantime, time has moved on. Everyone gets older, including yung anak nga nila. And the child reaches majority and reaches over 18. So so ang question nga ng viewer natin, which is a great question, babasahin ko nga mamaya and we'll break it down, is well, what can they do now? Can they still apply nga for indefinite leave to remain? In this case, yung bata is going to be 21 by the time she can apply for indefinite leave to remain, yung nanay nga, in 2027. So even now, of course, we're 2026 now, so even now, he's already over the age of 18. So what happens then? So yung pag-uusapan po natin. So we're gonna break that down, yung star question natin, and of course, yun ang topic nga natin. But otherwise, there are other questions. Absolutely, that's going to be, as I say, jam-packed nga ngayon. And I'll try my best to go through nga all the questions. But in the meantime, kung gusto nyo akong batiin, and I never ever say hello to, never say no to hello. No, do, especially as it's so hot. You know, it's well, it's more. You know, you kind of when it's hot, it's more difficult to concentrate, and you feel slightly. Ako at least, you know, you feel a little bit slightly off. So it would nothing makes me happier than being than you saying hello to me. So make me happy and say hello, okay? During this really hot summer day in June. Okay? Now, so without further ado, let me read to you yung question nga natin, star question natin. And salamat po sa viewer, no, who put that in. So sabi po niya dito, hi Attorney Lira, ask ko lang po sana if may possible way na sorry, let me just have a look. My apologies. No, looking the wrong bit. It's so hot. I'm just getting my brain is addled. Yeah, that's actually, no, that was a preview to a great question also. In fact, that's, I was toggling between maybe that. In fact, I was toggling between quite a lot of the question today. So which one to use as a star question, because also very interesting. That one is also very interesting. But anyway, let me keep you in suspense and not talk about that question. So, so question ito. Hi, Attorney Lira. Sabi niya, ask ko lang po sana regarding sa ILR, so indefinite leave to remain, eligibility ng anak ko. Spouse visa holder po ako, married to a British citizen. I arrived in the UK in November 2021 on a fiancé visa. Then, from May 2022 to November 2021, I had my first spouse visa. And from December 2024 to July 2027, so next year pa, no? Actually, nearly exactly a year, naman po ang second spouse visa ko. As I understand it, the earliest ko pong pwedeng mag-apply for ILR, for indefinite leave to remain, is May 2027. No? Yung anak ko po, yung son ko, for my previous relationship, arrived in the UK in August 2023 as my dependent. No? And by next year, 21 years old na po siya. So it seems that he got this visa just before he turned 18 nga, no? So, ang question mo, so sabi niya, ask ko lang po sana, if pagdating ng 2027, okay, visa extension po bang kailangan niya o pwede na po ba siyang mag-apply for ILR together with me, no? Life in the UK test, English test, done po namin. Well done. Pero hindi ko lang po sure if kailangan niyang munang magkumpleto ng sariling 5 years residency requirement. Based on my research po kasi, baka pwede na siya mag-apply for ILR as my dependent under the family visa route. No? But I just want to confirm if tama pong understanding ko. Thank you so much. Great question. No? Dahil nga, itong scenario to, it is one that actually, as I say, I'm surprised I don't get asked about this more often than I do, because there must be so many people with this situation nga na dumating sila. So let me just break it down, no? The facts. So, dumating nanay, mother first arrived in the United Kingdom in November 2021. Fiancé visa siya, no? Muna, okay? tapos si nanay, married British citizen, and was then granted, so pinalitan niya ang visa niya from a fiancé visa to that of a spouse, okay? From May 2022 to November 2024, which is the usual 2.5 years visa. Now, mother was then granted further leave to remain as a spouse from December 2024 to July 2027. So yun ang pangalawa. Yung nanay nga nakakuha ng visa, pangalawa na. So to go towards the 5 years usual route to get indefinite leave to remain as a spouse. Now, so sabi niya, and tama ka, mother is eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain for May 2027. Because that she will have completed then 5 years leave to remain as a spouse. Now, yung anak niya, yung dependent son niya, dumating siya dito, of course, on the basis of his relationship with mom, and of course, the stepdad nga, no? But he will be 21 already by 2027. So, ibig sabihin, 2026 na tayo, so he will be now 20, no? Maybe 19 going on 20 already. So it's now over the age of 18. I say I mentioned the age 18 because that's usually the magic age nga, no? 18 over, you're considered an adult for many things actually, but certainly for most of the immigration categories nga. 18 under 18, then you are considered a minor. So ibig sabihin, you are still considered a child dependent, for example, by your parent, no? Tapos yung question niya, so those are the facts. Can her dependent son, yung anak niya, apply for indefinite leave to remain at the same time as her, no? As the mother, or does the son need to apply for further leave to remain? So extension nga muna, because until he acquires the 5 years leave to remain in the United Kingdom. No? So that's a summary nga of the facts. And so let me just break it down for you. So let me just read to you a little bit. Let me just see if I can find this. This is from the Home Office. No, there are many rules, immigration rules ang tawag nga. I'm looking particularly at something called paragraph 298 of the immigration rules, appendix FM, if you care to look it up. So let me just read to you a short extract. So sabi nga dito, to qualify for indefinite leave to remain as a child of a person with indefinite leave to remain as a partner or parent, the applicant must meet the requirements of appendix family life. Anyway, it goes on about paragraph 298, and then it lists a number of things. No, so it would be things like it must not be leading an independent life, so they are still your dependent, for example, can be accommodated adequately by the parent, all of those, not be have good character, so all those things nga kailangan. But really ang question niya, so I'm assuming all those things are satisfied, no? Na yung anak mo nga walang nakatira sa'yo, or indeed kung nag-aaral, umuwi pa rin siya. So his home really is your home. So he remains your dependent. He's not leading an independent life. So sometimes nga when children come, they then establish a different relationship. Sometimes meron din sila mga anak na. So they lead then an independent life. So that would then be a problem. So, but let me go back to your question nga. So, your main issue is over 18 na siya, kailan siya pwedeng magpasok ng application, no, for indefinite leave to remain, given that you yourself will be able to apply nga in 2027. The answer is he needs to complete nga himself the 5 years. Okay, the reason for that is because he's now nga an adult. Now, no panic though. Okay, that as long as pumasok nga siya dito as your dependent, that's a big issue. As long as he remains your dependent, So if he's, as I've said, he's not leading an independent life. For example, he's not married and has children, for example, leading an independent life from you, then he's still considered your dependent, despite the fact that he's an adult. So effectively an adult dependent. But do not get that confused with the other adult dependent route if you're coming into the United Kingdom. Okay, but he would still be your dependent, even though he's over the age of 18. The semi-bad news, I suppose, is he would need to, because of his age, complete 5 years himself. So, which means essentially, let me just say, because I did do some now. So ito, he would need 5 years. So, ibig sabihin, dumating siya dito, sabi natin dati, 2023, no? Sabi natin dati dito. So, I lost my my page nga. So, anyway, so dumating siya dito. Here we are. Okay. Dumating siya dito on August 2023. So, he followed you because you entered the United Kingdom in 2021 as a fiancé nga. So 2023 August, which means August 2028 would be strictly speaking the first available date that he can make an application nga for indefinite leave to remain under the current rules. So if it's 2028, pero matatapos nga ang visa niya in 2027, let's say, I'm assuming that his visa is a tally with yours, okay, then that means that he would need to apply for a further extension of leave to remain to carry him through to 2028 August. No, so essentially he would be about 2020 August 2023. So 5 years would then mean August 2028. Kailangan niya. So so unfortunately, the answer to your question is he can't apply at the same time as you because it's too early. If he makes an application at the same time, you will find that they will refuse that application. And by the way, he needs to submit a separate application, okay? But they will refuse that application, and they will very likely grant an extension of leave to remain. But of course, you paid more because an application for indefinite leave to remain is higher than an extension application. And then they will ask you to pay on top of that, the IHS surcharge nga. Because of course, pagka indefinite ka na, you don't need to pay for the IHS surcharge, but you will need to apply for higher home office fee. So, malulugi ka, essentially. And on the current rules nga, and they keep changing the rules at the moment, but on the current rules, they will say she's not yet entitled. It's too early by something like, I suppose, a year. So yun. Now, at the moment nga, I'm sorry, ma'am, kailangan kong pamaypay because it's got warmer. If that's you would think it's impossible to get warmer, but it has got warmer. So yun. So it's so we're looking at really at as I say at another year. I hope that answers your question. But if you are unsure, as I've said nga before, you should truly seek independent legal advice. Do a one-to-one, do a fixed fee interview. So that way, makikita nga ng abogado your documents. That way, you can also you can be more surer nga that actually this is the process, because it's important, of course, that you do things right in any aspect nga in law, but particularly in some ways it becomes more important for where it's immigration, because obviously you have deadlines, quite tight deadlines. You either over your leave to remain or you're not. There's no two ways about it. Now, as I said, and good job, I've saved a break. So I'm going to take a quick break. I'm just going to splash water on my face because it's so hot. And then we're going to then deal with, but certainly we have lots of questions also. So saglit nga lang po, I'll be right back. And let me see if we can take a break. Saglit lang, okay? Let me just see. Welcome back to LIRA in Law on this very hot June evening, and broadcasting live as usual nga from London, England. Thank you very much for indulging me and in being able to take a break. Nga, you probably if you can hear the buzzing noise, I quickly got one of the small fans, so it's now on my desk. So I'm kind of emulating one. Do you know those films where your hair kind of blows off? It's not for show. I need it because it's been. I mean, it's so hot. It truly is so hot. Anyway, I am back, and I hope that you are too. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, let's just see if we have any questions. Any hellos. So let's have a look at the questions. I tell you what, let's just have a look at the questions. No, so it allows people to say hello a little bit more. Gives them a little bit more time. So sandali nga lang. So let me just have a look at the questions. Oh, okay. I pressed the wrong button. David Calixto II. Alam ko, he is actually watching from the Philippines. Oh my gosh, David, talaga. I know I should not moan to you dahil mas mainit nga sa Pinas, no? So for those of you watching from the Philippines, my apologies for being such a moaner, no, about the heat. It's just pagka nasa atin tayo, no, you expect it, yung init nga, and you kind of prepare for it. So you have sandals, yung chinelas nga, meron kang pamaypay. You should time certain things, no, not to leave the house in the middle of the day. But here, it's just because it's so unexpected, but of course they tell us, no, in advance na mainit nga, but it's kind of still unexpected to the point that it's somehow you feel it's hotter in that sense, no. It's a bit of a surprise. Look, it's as I say, I should not moan. I should not moan. Sabi niya, a pleasant evening. Have a pleasant evening, Attorney Lear. Sabi niya, ikaw din, no? I mean, alam ko, actually, I was going to say, have a pleasant evening, but madaling araw na nga sa atin. Now, I'm just going on my machine here to ensure that I can see you all. So my apologies. Even my phone is having problems. It's the heat. May Tigbawarga sabi niya, hello and good evening, Attorney Lear, and to all the viewers. Hot Thursday, everyone. Tama ka. Sorry, I've just seen myself with my hair blowing off, no? So May. Nasaan ka ngayon? It's really truly hot. I hope you're inside. I hope you're inside. It's so warm. It's so warm. Oh, Mayen Dahao Arsenio Lacena. Lacerna. Sorry, Lacerna. Hello po, good evening, attorney. Good evening po. I hope you're well, and I hope you're inside. You know, I hope you're inside. This is what I wish for all of you. I hope that you are comfortable inside, or if you're outside, maybe having a halo. No, I'm going to. I think I have to wait. I have to wait until the weekend. Yeah. I need to get also the ingredients for halo. Egg guy, the great guy from London. Sabi niya, a boiling. Egg guy, you're so right. A boiling Thursday to Attorney Lira and to the viewers. Talagang nakakauhaw sa init. Yeah. Kawawa mga bata sa init. Tama ka, no? Work from home today. Oh, lucky you. That unbearable underground train. I'm now ambassador of ating siopaw asado. It's my dinner now. Ooh, you're making me hungry. While listening to your lovely voice. No, you can order on the network link. I can post here with your permission, please. Of course, yeah. Looking forward to lots of learning again. Egg guy, the guy. I tell you what, Egg guy, you're so lucky, no? So you've ordered your dinner from your link nga doon. Ating siopaw asado. Siopaw. Siopaw nga. Although saying that, na napakainit nga ngayon, I'm actually looking forward to some halo. But I know I don't have all the ingredients, no? I mean, alam ko, no, the ice, of course, no, crushed ice, we want that. But I'm quite fussy with my halo. I like the coconut nga. Oh, okay, outcast. I mean, weather in the Philippines now is somehow good. Happy Thursday. Talaga? Wow. Yeah. Oh gosh, talaga. Lucky you. Lucky you. So it's not raining? Hindi umuulan sa atin ngayon. Walang bagyo. Lagi may bagyo nga sa atin. I hope it's and it's not just a little bit. It's sa atin, unfortunately, we are plagued often by such severe weather, no? Christian Amor Simbahon. Good evening po, attorney. Watching from Middle East. Oh my gosh! Welcome. Thank you very much for watching. No, I'm so pleased. I'm always so happy when people from. I mean, I'm happy for any viewers. No, so I'm very grateful nga. But when people are tuning in nga from Middle East, from Philippines, anywhere really, Canada, sometimes we get viewers nga. Always happy. No, welcome, Christian. I mean, I hope that you're okay. No, it's alam ko magulo nga ngayon dati sa Middle East. Edgar! Oh, we love Edgar. Edgar Duway. Magandang gabi, sabi niya po sa inyo. Just sitting down, melting like a popsicle. Yeah. Lots of, but still have time for Dagdag Kalaman Day with amazing attorney Elsie. Oh, he's so sweet, no? I was enjoying the news about the Scots putting cones around Boston statue. So funny talaga. I'm going to look it up. It's probably on YouTube, putting cones around the Boston statue. Their character, it's a pity they lost. If you're watching football, I'm kind of dipping in and out of football now. It's a pity that they lost. It would have been great if they'd won, but it was Brazil. They were going against. Miss Rubio, Leonora Obaldo Rubio, brilliant presentation, sabi niya. We love Miss Rubio. We learn a lot, no? Joy Carino. Hi, Miss Carino. Good evening, Attorney Lira. Sabi, it's really nice to watch your vlog. May natutunan naman kami, mga viewers mo. She's so kind. She is so kind. And her whole family. Miss Diesta, of course. Miss Diesta. Hi, Miss Diesta. Lorna Diesta. I'm watching at the bus stop, waiting for my bus home. My gosh, talaga. I'm so grateful nga, no, that you take your time and you tune in. Kung nasan man kayo, or you're traveling nga, or you're sitting melting like a popsicle, as Edgar says. Sorry, I need to move my hair. Dahil mahaba ang buhok ko. I mean, not as long as some of you, no doubt. But it's just it's the fan. It's just flicking. Now, okay, so mustn't forget the questions nga. So let's Edgar San, pray for pray for people from South Russia, Venezuela, Northern Japan, and Southern Philippines earthquake. Yeah, absolutely, Edgar. No, absolutely nga. It's uh you know, it's good to see that note, because it does bring it kind of grounds you, you know, because there are many things that we can complain about, and goodness knows, I mean, I certainly do, and mainit nga, but truly, yeah, it's there's so many more people in so many more in so much more worse situations nga. So absolutely, tama ka, tama ka. Now, let's have a look at this question nga. Now, ito. Hi, Attorney Lira. Question lang po regarding sa pag-input ng name details sa UK spouse visa application. If sa Philippine passport po nakalagay na given name is Maria, middle name is Cruz, and surname is Torres, tama po bang ilagay sa application's given name Maria Cruz and surname is Torres? Since naka-indicate po sa UKVI na ilagay lahat ng names as they appear in the passport. Gusto ko lang po sanang masigurado tama ang ma-input ng details. Thank you po. Love this question. Because it's necessary, no? You need to get your details right, of course. And yes is the answer. Yung sabi mo nga doon, absolutely. So sa atin, as you know, kung galing ka nga sa Pilipinas, doon ka pinanganak, normally what would happen is, of course, we get our given name, tapos ang middle name natin is not actually a given name, but rather yung apelyido ng nanay natin, di ba? No? And then yung apelyido natin, apelyido ng tatay natin, and then they're put together. So in my case, it's Lira, Simon, Kabatbat. No? So if I'm completing this application and they say, given names, it's not exactly correct, but I would need to complete it as Lira Simon, last name is Kabatbat. Dahil kung lalagay yung Simon with the Kabatbat, it would then show surname Simon Kabatbat. But of course, documents my documents, in fact, show my surname as Kabatbat. So tama ka. It doesn't exactly fit, and it's a great question because, yeah, it's actually probably a very common question people would have when they're starting with completing application. So yeah, tama ka. So our middle name, even though it's not really a given name, would go with our first name rather than the last name. Good luck with your application. Now, I'm sure we have some more questions. So sabi niyo nga, let me have a look. Let me see. Okay, so this was the question I kind of, I think I started reading, got myself a bit mixed up. This is a good one too. So, hi, Attorney Lira, sabi niya, ask ko lang po sana if may possible way na madadala ko sa UK ang 4-year-old son ko. Okay. Currently po sa UK, ako ay skilled worker visa with occupation code 6135. 6135 means carers, no? And as I understand po, hindi allowed ang dependents under this route. Single mother po ako. Ang anak ko ay nasa Pilipinas ngayon with my parents. No? Yung biological father niya has been out of the picture since 11 months old pa siya. No? Although dala pa rin ng anak kong surname niya. Ang concern ko ay scheduled ng mag-migrate permanently sa US ang parents ko this September 2026. So, a couple months time, no? At wala na pong ibang family member na pwedeng mag-alaga sa anak ko. Okay? Hindi rin po ako comfortable na iwan siya sa care ng ibang tao outside the family. Gusto ko lang po sanang itanong if may chance po kayo may sponsor siya under the family visa. If pwede po mag-apply outside the immigration rules on compassionate exceptional circumstances, no, grounds. If may similar case po kayong ma-handle o may insight po kayo about this, I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I really like this question. It's probably a scenario that we're going to see more commonly going forward. No? Now, so unang-una, unfortunately, you didn't note dates. No, dates are important. You're talking about the restriction to bring family members where you are. You're in the United Kingdom as a skilled worker, but under nga this code 6135. So basically, carer ka. No, I say that because the change came into play on the 11th of March 2024. Yeah, so last year. So since the 11th of March 2024, those people coming into the United Kingdom then or making application that would mean they can't bring family members, hindi nga lang anak, but also uh, partners, no? And that's changed further because they've actually now stopped recruiting for carers, no, fairly recently. But from the 11th of March 2024, they also restricted. So if you have a visa then as a carer and you obtain that visa after the 11th of March 2024, ibig sabihin, you can't simply apply for your family that is partner nga and children under the age of 18 to come to the UK to follow you or to indeed to come with you. So if you, however, were already in the UK at that time, or indeed you got your visa on or before the 11th of March 2024, then you should still be able to apply for your son to join you in the UK. No? So, but I'm assuming that you probably know about the deadline, which is the 11th of March 2024. So if that's the case, let's look at it. No, it's not yet a situation that I have come across. The reason being the change in the law is fairly recent. No, it was only in 2024. I mean, I appreciate we're now 2026, but it takes a while for these issues to feed through. I am expecting these problems to come about more regularly now. You know, your case in point. Yeah. So let's just unpack it a little bit. No. You can still apply in due course for indefinite leave to remain, but I know that's also changed. This earned settlements is issue. Sometimes it's rather than 5 years, you need to certify 10 years. And even if it's 5 years, you know, you're probably thinking 5 years is a long time. No, he's 4 years old only. What am I going to do in the next 3 years or 2 years? Yeah, no? And so I see what your concerns. And yeah, September, alis na yung mga magulang mo. And then what do you do? No? So if your case is you got your visa and after the 11th of March, no, or after the 11th of March 2024, and it's clear that you can't bring your child into the United Kingdom, one option, and it's not really a good one, is of course to wait until you have your indefinite leave to remain. Or if you're able to swap your visa to something else, like say a spouse, assuming of course that you have a partner here. Sabi mo, wala na nga kayo nung tatay niya. But let's say you can't do that. Ang question mo sa akin, which is a great one, no? So you end with, well, can you make an application on compassionate or exceptional grounds? No? It's not one that I have come across yet, just because, as I say, it takes a little while for things to feed through, for problems to feed through, coming from changes in the law. But you, strictly speaking, I suppose you can make an application on exceptional immigration rules, compassionate exceptional circumstances. You would probably be, solicitor would tell you this. It's likely to be a test case, you know, because they would likely say, well, you know, the rules were fairly clear. You entered the United Kingdom when you did. Why now are you challenging it when you knew full well that the rules are there? But it doesn't mean that you can't challenge. You may lose, But on the other hand, it could be that you win it. Now, it would likely be an Article 8, a human rights type challenge. So you would probably need to argue, potentially even, is that the change in the law is incompatible with, say, our obligations under Article 8, right to family, private life. So it's a possibility. It would be a novel case, but it's truly a possibility. Like, ang gawin mo ito, and this I rarely do. It's definitely it's an interesting scenario, and I'm expecting these types of situations finding their way, for to challenge now wish, because it's now 2 years, since the change. Email me your details. Maybe an idea to just have a chat. Happy to do that, and then let's take it from there. All right, okay. Because it's an interesting scenario from a legal point of view, and it's I think it's absolutely something that you should look into further. And I'm so sorry that you're in this situation, but as they say, give me a call. All right. Now, I have some more questions, I am sure. So, tingnan nga natin to. So, Edgar, sabi niya, totoo bang House of Lords are against extension of indefinite leave to remain set by the House of Commons when House of Lords don't agree with the law, will not be ratified? Yeah, with immigration rules, it's quite, it's not quite as simple as that, no? Generally, the law, when you're passing law, it needs to be looked at. So it's Parliament, then it goes to the House of Lords. Maybe it doesn't get passed, and then gets kicked back down to for looking at by the Commons. But with immigration rules, some rules actually do not need to go to either house, because they can simply change it. Because they can be what's called secondary legislation. Yeah. So yeah, it's for immigration rules. You'll probably find that the majority, I suspect, of immigration rules, that will not need to go to Parliament, for example, for change. Trust you, Edgar, to come up with this question. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Now, let me just see. Any questions pa ba? So, let me have a look. Yeah, so ito. Yes, this is also a good one. Again, one that I thought maybe I should do this as star question. Really interesting questions tonight. So, sabi niya, hi, Attorney Lira. Ask ko lang po sana sa spouse visa extension ko this October. Naka-spouse visa po ako, mag-renew na po ako for another 2 years and 6 months. Actually, it's now, because this is your second extension, it's probably not going to be 2 years and 6 months, but rather, in fact, 2.5 years. Now, may concern lang po ako, if maapektuhan ba ang visa extension application ko dahil nag-holiday po ako sa Netherlands for 6 days. Then, dumiretso po ako sa Belgium for another holiday bago bumalik sa UK. May nakapagsabi po sa akin na dapat daw umuwi muna ako sa UK bago ako pumunta sa Belgium. At bawal daw po na dumiretso from one Schengen country to another. Gusto ko lang po sa malinawan kung may difference po yung immigration o ma-effectuhan ba yung spouse visa extension ko. At kung may possible issue, dahil hindi ko dahil hindi po ako bumalik muna sa UK. So meron po problema yon, no? Before traveling to Belgium. Thank you po. Again, I like this question. For different reasons nga, no? Because it raises absolutely a substantive issue, but also it this is actually what she sets out, I've actually seen, raised nga before. It's chismis, right? So now, unang-una, the 6 days you've been away, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference, or even 12 days, no? Yun yung at Belgium nga, no? It's not going to make a blind bit of difference to your application. Just to take that one step further, no? Weirdly, for spouse visa holders nga, under the 5-year route, right? There's no maximum requirement under that route, no, about absences under that route. Okay? But when you're making an application for, say, naturalization, then you would be faced with the absences requirements nga. That's when you need to be careful. But hindi pa naman magkaalala doon, that because you're only on your second visa nga, no? So yung 6 days mo, no issue. Now, the next issue is, well, magkakaproblema ba because you went from, you obviously got a Schengen visa. By the way, Schengen is a type of visa that allows you to travel from one Schengen signatory country to another Schengen signatory country without needing a visa for those, separately for those countries. So in this case, of course, sabi mo nga dito, you traveled from Netherlands nga to Belgium, no? So sabi mo dito, well, magkakaproblema ba yun? Nabalitaan mo, na may nagsabi sa'yo that actually when you traveled from Netherlands, you then needed to come back to the UK, and then from the UK travel to Belgium. No, completely wrong. It doesn't matter, no, because if you're traveling within the to countries who are Schengen signatories, yeah, and most European countries are Schengen signatory countries, you would then be able to travel from that country to another country without needing to come back to the UK. So it's actually a strange chismis, no, that I've heard a few times in the past. The last time siguro was about 6 months ago, and narinig ko, it was with them. I think it was a Christmas holiday for a client of mine nga. Yun ang balitaan niya, which actually it surprised me then, but clearly it's kind of stuck, itong chismis na ito. So don't worry, no, truly don't worry. You absolutely, the 6 days or 12 days nga being on holiday, that's not going to make a blind bit of difference to your extension visa, your application for extension as a spouse. Also going from the Netherlands directly to Belgium, again, no problem. You actually could have gone from Netherlands to Belgium to Italy to France, no, without coming back to the United Kingdom. So wag kang mag-alala. Chismis lang po. Chismis lang. Now, I don't know if we have any other questions. So tingnan ko. Otherwise, tingnan ko nga kung meron pa may mga greeters sa atin. Oh gosh, it's so hot. No? It's so hot. Miss Jones, Marilyn Jones. Love this picture. This picture I like nga, no, because it denotes summer, and we're really truly summer. Happy Thursday, sabi po niya. Evening to Attorney Lira and all viewers. Watching from Philippines. Miss Jones, you're so kind to tune in. Alam ko madaling araw nga sa atin, and I hope it's not so hot dahil madaling araw nga sa atin. And when are you back? I hope you're coming back. Well, I was going to say, I hope you're coming back soon, but no. Have a great time. Spend as much as you can time-wise nga sa Pinas or anywhere else where you enjoy yourself. You deserve it. You deserve it, madam. No, you absolutely deserve it. Life, someone was telling me actually just earlier on, life is very short. You know? So I'm so pleased you're enjoying yourself. Miss Rafael, I was thinking about you because anyway, I was thinking about, partly because of Wimbledon, but I was thinking about you. Sabi niya, hello, Attorney Lira, and good evening to everyone. Happy Thursday to you all. Watching also from the Philippines. My goodness me. Wow. Oh, that's a nice photo, Miss Rafael. You look gorgeous. Oh, salamat po. Again, a viewer, alam ko madaling araw nga sa atin. And so you're so kind. What did you do? Stay up late or did you set your alarm? Si Edgar, sabi niya, magandang gabi po, Lady Emmeline Rafael, kamusta po? Absolutely, no? Actually, good evening, May Barbagas. Good evening, everyone, sabi nga niya. Yeah, actually, Edgar, remember, Edgar, Miss Paner, who's not said hello yet, maybe nasa Pilipinas nga siya, Miss Rafael, Ma'am Carsola. And guy nga, no? So actually, most of our greeters nga from today, we kind of all started off. Was this during COVID, diba? No, and we've continued. So it's kind of nice, and we kind of got to know each other, diba? So yeah, Miss Rafael, yeah, she's gorgeous, Miss Rafael, no? And she hails from Wimbledon, and given that it's now June, they're going to have this iconic tournament in a couple of weeks' time. No, a couple of weeks' time. So I don't know if you're going to be back for in time for the Wimbledon, Miss Rafael. Now let me just have a look if there's anyone else. Now, gosh, what do I say? Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much for joining me on this really, really hot evening in June. And as I say, you can probably tell we are absolutely broadcasting live as we normally do, because you can see how hot I look. My apologies in advance. I hope that you're comfortable where you are. I hope that you are making a start on your halo-halo. I may nevertheless have got my halo-halo, even though I'm missing makapuno. I don't also have ube, so it'll probably just be a lot of ice cream. Yeah, but never mind. Okay. Anyway, thank you again for joining me. Thank you, Paul, to the Facebook groups that allow us to post our contents on their pages, and big thanks to the viewers who put who kindly written in now with their questions. They're great questions now, and those who of course joined us, especially from abroad. Grateful. I'm so touched that you spend your time. You choose to spend your time with me. I'm grateful. Now, it just leaves me really to say, I hope that you have a comfortable night, and hope you have a fan if you're living in the United Kingdom or indeed Europe. I hope that you have a fan. I have two or going at the same time at the moment. I wish you a warm, hopefully not too warm, evening, and I hope to see you next week, same time, same place at LIRA in Law. Good night.